This 6,000-year-old secret will change your perspective on life. For 6,000 years, a secret has moved in whispers, carved into stone, etched in forbidden texts, and sealed in rituals that survived only through bloodlines and shadows. This secret is not a myth, not a fable, not a poetic metaphor, but a living truth. So volatile it had to be hidden behind temples, encoded in symbols, and buried beneath layers of cultural hypnosis. Why? Because if you knew it, if you truly saw it, it would liberate you from every mechanism of control ever devised. Governments would dissolve, religions would lose their grip, economies would collapse. The modern matrix we call civilization would no longer hold any power over your mind. This secret is not merely about who built the pyramids or what lies under the Sphinx. It's not just the story of Atlantis or the cuneiform tablets of Sumeria. It's deeper than that. It is about what those civilizations knew about you, about your soul, about your frequency, about the true architecture of reality. The reason you were never taught this in school is not because it's unimportant. It's because it is dangerously important. Knowledge, when wielded without initiation, becomes a threat. And the elites who have ruled civilization since Babylon have always feared the initiated masses. They feared the awakened. They feared the remembered. They constructed entire institutions designed to make you forget who you are. Your schools taught you obedience, not wisdom. Your churches taught you sin, not divinity. Your governments taught you to vote, not to see. Your screens taught you to consume, not to remember. But now, something ancient is stirring. And it's not a revolution of violence. It's a revolution of awareness. Something within you is beginning to awaken. A hunch, a dream, a pattern you can't unsee. This is not coincidence. This is code. The ancients were obsessed with numbers, geometry, and vibration, not for decoration, but for initiation. The number 6,000 isn't random. It aligns with the astrological precessions, the great year, and the rise and fall of human consciousness in cycles. We are exiting one of the darkest ages in that cycle, an age of forgetfulness, known to the Hindus as Kali Yuga. And with every ending comes a remembering. Ancient Egypt called it Zeptepi, the first time when gods walked among men and knowledge flowed freely like the Nile. What happened then was not mythology. It was memory, suppressed, but not destroyed. Why did the gods disappear? Or did they? What if the gods of ancient mythology were not supernatural beings, but conscious states, archetypes, energetic frequencies made flesh by human initiation? Carl Jung hinted at this when he spoke of the archetypes, the shadow, the self, the anima, the hero. Not as fictional characters, but as living blueprints of the soul. Our ancestors didn't worship idols. They embodied them. The temples were not for prayers. They were for transformation. Every initiation was a psychological and energetic alchemy designed to wake up the divine within. But what happens when you suppress this knowledge? What happens when you convince humans they are sinners, slaves, or accidents of biology? You get this. You get a planet where anxiety is normal, where people are divorced from their bodies, where truth is a debate instead of a discovery, where attention is currency and lies are strategy. The 6,000-year-old secret is not hidden in a tomb. It's hidden in plain sight. It's in the pine cone motifs of Sumerian gods, symbolizing the pineal gland. It's in the Eye of Horus, which is an anatomical match to the brain's thalamus. It's in the serpent and staff of Hermes, which mirrors the Kundalini energy rising through the spine. All ancient civilizations knew man is the bridge between earth and cosmos, matter and spirit. But modern man has become the blockage. You were designed to be a tuning fork of the divine. Your thoughts shape time. Your emotions sculpt probability. Your will bends space. This was never metaphor. Quantum physics now confirms what mystics said all along. Consciousness is not in the brain. It is the field in which the brain operates. The real matrix is not the one from Hollywood. It's the narrative that tells you you're just a body, a job, a name. But ancient systems, Vedic, Egyptian, Taoist, Gnostic, all whispered the same thing. You are a sleeping god, and the dream is cracking. The Vatican holds miles of hidden texts. Smithsonian expeditions lost thousands of bones and artifacts. Colonial powers erased oral traditions and called it progress. These were not accidents. They were strategic amnesia. Because if you knew the full story, that the gods you pray to were once titles given to men who awakened their latent powers, you would no longer kneel. You would rise. And in doing so, the pyramids would no longer be mysteries. They would be mirrors. Your DNA is not junk. 97% of it is still unexplained by modern science. But esoteric traditions knew. It is the receiver of cosmic information. Trauma disconnects it. Ritual reactivates it. Why do you think elites are obsessed with bloodlines, ritual, symbolism, and astrology? They don't mock these things. They hoard them. And yet, you were born with the same architecture. The secret is not in becoming something more. It's in removing what is false. The moment you stop identifying as a victim, as a cog in a system, as a lonely, flawed creature, the door opens. The myth ends. And the memory returns. That's why you're watching this. Not because of the algorithm, but because you are the algorithm. Synchronicity is not coincidence. It's communication from the field. Jung said that what you don't make conscious becomes your fate. And this is the root of the 6,000-year secret. When humanity forgets its source, it becomes enslaved by its projections. The gods become tyrants. The temples become banks. The prayers become politics. But when you remember who you are, the projections collapse. The system loses its battery. This is why ancient initiates were trained to master fear, desire, and thought. Because until you do, you are not free. You are programmable. And what is today's world if not the result of unconscious programming on a global scale? The 6,000-year-old secret is not information. It's a frequency. And only those who raise their frequency can decode it. You feel it when you fast, when you meditate, when you dream, when you disconnect from noise and return to signal. That's not an accident. That's you. Remembering. There is no savior coming. No apocalypse. No alien fleet. That was part of the distraction. The real event is inner. The real return is not of a deity in the sky, but of yourself in the mirror. Jung knew this. The Gnostics knew this, and the ancients built civilizations around this inner truth. But we replaced inner mastery with outer conquest. We traded stillness for stimulation, initiation for indoctrination. But the spirit never dies. It only waits. And right now, it's waking up.